So dealing with the fall started with an argument. As we learned before the video, right before this, we was talking about the Most High being the universal breath. The breath breathes in negative, out positive. Hence, if you look at a man and woman's reproductive parts, the woman is in, the man is out. Positive is out, negative is in. Feminine in, masculine out. Thought in, action out. It can be proven. When you think, you don't think on the outside, you think on the inside. When you act, you don't act on the inside, you act on the outside. So where did the fall come in? The fall, once again, started with an argument. The argument was between the high negative and the low negative. Now, yes, they like to associate negative itself with something that harms, something harmful. But if you look at negative is energy. Energy. Take a battery. When a battery is fully charged, it works well. When it's low, it doesn't do good, or it doesn't work at all. So now you have to look at the positive and the negative in the higher realm. The negative at her highest knows everything. This is what the physical calls mama, mother God. Thus, it's not taught because they want you to follow the free will, the course of the argument. The argument, you can find it in Revelation chapter 12, the woman pregnant with the male child, and she was ready to give birth and she said that her male child will rule over the nations. What that is saying is the highest negative, which knows everything, negative at her highest knows everything, negative at her lowest knows nothing. So the high negative would be the mother, the low negative would be her evil twin sister. Hence, the high positive will be the father, the low positive will be his evil twin brother. The low negative works, the low positive is the action of the low negative. The high positive is the action of the high negative. So when it says the woman said her son will rule the nations with the iron scepter, that was basically saying the high negative was saying that her action shall rule the nations with an iron scepter. The iron scepter is mama's law. Mama, once again, is the high negative. She knows everything. So rule the nations with the all-knowing, the law of the all-knowing. And then I saw another great sign in heaven. There was an enormous red dragon. Red represents strategy or war. It can be strategized or destructive. If you look at Mars, Mars is the red planet. Red. The highest energy of Mars is strategy. The lowest energy is destruction. If you're at war, because it's the war planet, if you're at war and you're using strategy, you can basically conquer. But if you just blowing up everything, you're going to destroy. And that's what the low negative energy came in. I saw an enormous red dragon whose tail swept a third of the angels out of the sky. If you look at the constellations, and you look at the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, and then you look in the middle of the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, there's a line that goes all the way across that connects to a head. That's Draco, the dragon. The tail swept a third of the angels out of the sky. Its tail is right over the Little Dipper. It swept the Little Dipper. The Little Dipper being the nations of South America. Wait a minute, hold up, stop, pause. As above, so below. If you look at the Big Dipper and Little Dipper, they're in the northern sky. This is why the women of the north, the one they call the black woman, study the science to know how to birth the first male child. And this is why Greca was also upset, because she was the one to bring the first male child into existence. And the first male child will be the one to rule the nations with an iron scepter. Greca, the low negative energy, did not know how to bring the male child into existence because she's low energy. She don't know nothing. She has to go and make mockery or make a what they call a GMO, genetically modified. She has to modify the thought of her highest twin sister. And when she mocks it, she makes it evil, wicked, harmful. Truth reversed, so falsehood is manifest. If you look at the story of the drinking orc, follow the drinking orc. That was the captive song. They call it the slave song, but it's captives because they were captured on their own land. The captives said, we need to get to the north. Follow the drinking orc. The drinking orc was the Big Dipper. So the Big Dipper led them to the north. Therefore, the Big Dipper represents North America. The Little Dipper represents South America. Big Dipper, Big Mama. Little Dipper, Little Son. Big Dipper, Big Bear. Little Dipper, Baby Bear. The tail swept Baby Bear, hence 1492, when Christian Columbus, when the Christians was bust over here on the ship Columbia. It wasn't a man, it was actually the Christians. They came with the cross and the Bibles and everything of that nature. They came to the South. They went to South America and they took it over. That was the as above, so below. That was the prophecy below of the dragon sweeping the third of the angels out of the sky. The dragon, Draco, constellation Draco, DR. DR makes the what in English? The DR makes the what? The G sound. So when you say DR is dragon, drive, driven, drove, drum, DR. But it's saying G. Why is it saying G? Because that's the Greek. Greca is the mother of the Greeks. This whole thing was feminine. The one that they call the black woman in North America birthed the first male child. Now, the body was planted in the center of the garden. If you look at Africa, they'll say Africa is where the Garden of Eden is. But Africa isn't the center. Africa is the east. Hawaii is the west. Therefore, North America and South America can't be the west because there's something further west of it. If North America and South America would be the west, then there's nothing that would be further beyond it. But since you can go further and get to Hawaii, now that makes Hawaii the west. So then North America is the top. South America is the bottom. So what is the center? Central America is the center of the garden. This is why they want to seize America. This is why America is the blueprint. The one that they call the black woman is the blueprint. She's the threat to the Vatican. She's the threat to the patriarchal system. She's the threat to Greca, the dragon. And this is why it says the dragon made war against the woman and her offsprings, the black woman and her nation. I'm saying black woman just so that you can visualize who I'm talking about. Because if I say melanated woman, you'll be like, oh, there's a lot of melanated women all over. It's melanated woman in Ether. But I'm talking about a specific woman here. And you made her think that she is nothing when she is the reason for everything. If it wasn't for her, none of you wouldn't be here. She is the mother of all. Hence, would they make a mockery when they say Eve is the mother of all living? Eve, evening, the dark. The one that they call the black woman is the mother of all living. But not only that, she's the one to birth the first male child. When you hear the story of Jesus and the Virgin Mary, and she had a baby boy without a man, there was no men here. So that's her story. She is Mother Mary. Her son, the black man, would be Jesus. Hence why he was teaching the nations her law. And they said, no, we got to crucify as above, so below. The dragon wanted to crucify him above. She couldn't, so she got below and did it. This is why you see the one that they call the black man killing himself, disrespecting his mother. He's out of order. He's asleep. He's been crucified and locked in a tomb within his mind. And the Roman seal is the cross. And anybody who breaks the seal, death to them. They're talking about the Masonic order. Shh, it's a secret. If you wake these people up, death to you. Don't break that seal. Leave them under the cross. So when you see the Pope and the Vatican, when they're bowing down to the statue and they call it the Black Madonna and her son, that's the black woman and the black man, basically, of America. And they do they have the rosary, and they do their Hail Marys, and they go down the rosary and they say, Hail Mary, Mother Mary, please forgive us for our sins. Mary, America, Mother Mary, Mother of America. That's the black woman. Please forgive us for crucifying your son, the black man. They crucify him every day. They sacrifice him every day. Every time one that they call the black man is murdered and kills itself, they buy themselves more time. He died for our sins. He died so we can live. Wake up, brothers. You killing yourself so that your enemy can live. What sense does that make? But it's Greca. This is where the fall came in, the arguments. And she wanted her will to rule the nations. Now you see what her will is doing? This patriarchal system is free will. He's willing to do whatever he wants. He don't listen to mama's law. Look at what happened. You got wars, you got sickness, diseases, you got rape, you got murder. You see what I'm saying? You got all this corruption going on because the highest negative energy action is not ruling. Because ones chose free will. And so the bodies of the astral bodies took on a final garb of flesh. The flesh got more dense and it became slow. And we chose free will. It was a trick. So the fall started with an argument, but it ended with free will. So if you chose free will, you fell into the flesh. And we think that free will is good, but it's doing the will outside of mother. That's the will of Greca, her evil twin sister. Free will. She's willing to do whatever she wants. She don't want to do the will of the mother, the highest negative energy. And this is what the argument was about. So once the one that they call the black woman wakes up, you can't do nothing. This whole system gonna fall and everything gonna go back into order.